Hey, does anyone remember Evolve the video game? Just me? Okay, alright. Evolve was one of those games that had a lot of potential to be a lot of things. It had a fun style of gameplay placed in a story and world that was both engrossing and mysterious. Yet sadly, it didn't have the content, along with everyone's favorite mechanic, microtransactions, to keep it alive. And I'm pretty sure the servers are down now, so you can't really play it. And to me, that's a shame, really. I really remember loving the game. I'd sit on the couch and play it for hours, and I'm not sure why. To me, Evolve was just the special game to me that I look back on fondly, and I'm sad to see it go. Now recently, I've kind of got back into it, though I haven't played the game at all. How is that? Well, Evolve is a video game that has something really good and investing that I didn't expect. Its characters. They managed to balance both lore explanation and personality together fairly well. While not every character is perfectly balanced, they each offer something fun to the table. There's plenty of dialogue exchanges in the game, and to me, they managed to make the characters into something really alive. They make them feel real. Evolve has a diverse set of lovable idiots. It's their designs, personalities, that was the reason I even played the game in the first place. Their dialogue between each other, their lore and personalities, the world building they hint at, to me, I think it's heavily underrated and really good. So I'm going to talk about that instead of the gameplay. Alright, here we go. Alright, basic history. Evolve is a multiplayer shooter that revolves around a team of 4 hunting down one monster. It starts off with the hunters dropping from the battle bus before the battle bus was cool. You can even hear some dialogue between the hunters that explains their situation, backstory, or simple lore and funny interactions. The hunters each have one role per player. Assault, whose main job is exactly what it sounds like. Kill the monster and kill it again. Medics are tasked with healing the hunters. The support class provides extra abilities that support the team, whether defensively or offensively. And the most unique one, the Trapper, whose task is to hunt down the enemy monster with a variety of methods. The monsters, though, I won't really talk about them. Hunt down and fine dine on animals to evolve, kill me, and eventually kill all the hunters. As of now, there are about 5 different characters per role, and it's probably going to stay that way, each with unique weapons, an ability, and one shared ability per class. Like assaults have shields, and trappers literally have a mobile dome. By those explanations, you can probably guess that these are fairly simple roles. Each one just has a task to do, and do it well. There's not much complexity to it, yet still, like I said, with how there are 5 unique characters for the 4 roles, their designs and personalities add plenty of spice to them. Their weapons and abilities, in a sense, reflect who the characters actually are. For example, Hyde, an assault class, utilizes a flamethrower, a weapon that requires a 4-foot range, perfect for getting swatted into orbit by a hulking, roided out monster. You have to be insane to do that, but Hyde revels in joy doing this.
Melting faces. This ain't a vacation. It's fucking paradise.
Griffin is basically the Crocodile Dundee Australian, insert more Outback phrases here, professional hunter. He has multiple movie deals and comic books and documentaries, except he absolutely hates them all.
Well, just don't see one of mine. Here's some crap.
You're playing the role of the famous hunter who hates being a famous hunter. There's probably a few more examples, gameplay-wise, but I'd rather simply talk about their characters. I'm going to bring up some of my favorites, some interactions I enjoy, aspects of the world, and instead of sticking to a central theme, I'm just going to talk about whatever. For dialogue's sake, I'm going to be using clips from these YouTubers you'll probably see on screen right now. You should definitely go watch these videos and support them since I'm not going to show every piece of dialogue. Thanks for their hard work. I wouldn't be able to make this without it. I'm incredibly grateful for what they did, and make sure to go support them. Starting off, a central talking point and building block of Evolve's world are the monsters and their connections to our characters' motivations. No one knows where these monsters came from, what they are, why they are intelligent, and what even their goal is. They don't care about killing humans, but specifically go after a certain type of technology. It gives them an air of mystery and fear. Just what are these? All we know is that they're a potential plant-level threat. Some of the characters are simply hunting them as the payout would set you for life, Bill Gates style, but some have different motivations. One of my favorites, Kyra, a fairly young, nerdy, and spunky, yet violent and kind of an asshole type of person, is actively studying and trying to figure out about the monsters. What I like is how she never gives an exact answer for what they are, keeping that mystery factor, but she still gives lore about these monsters.
Sorry guys, I've been trying to figure out how these creatures even got here.
You suspect they aren't native to Share?
They just don't fit with the native fauna, you know? But it is possible the colonists Woke them up by disrupting their ecosystem.
One of her main points is that they aren't natural, they're engineered.
Right, you told Cabot you thought these creatures were designed. Why do you think that?
Okay, I'll tell you. They use anhydrohexatal nucleic acid.
I understand the structure.
Because you just looked it up.
Yes, but I don't understand why that means...
The thing is, HNA is sorta famous for, like, if you were going to design a better DNA. I don't know, maybe it evolves naturally. But Cabot asked me, and I say, no way.
She's not just a nerdy scientist, she's an avid user of friendly fire. She's a fairly relatable scientist that just doesn't have a single shtick, but actually contributes to the world.
Who's a good trap jaw? Who's a good trap jaw? You are! Look at your waggy butt.
Similar to Kyra, another one of the best is Kala. By her appearance, you can probably guess just what she is. A Twitter user. Kala kind of subverts expectations. She's a mix of the mad scientist and mysterious monster aspect into this strange entity.
3 girls just looking for action. Or rather, 2.5 girls.
Don't humor her.
Ms. Diaz does not approve of me.
Ms. Diaz thinks you're a walking abomination.
Yes, I know. She's afraid I'm going to kill everyone on this ship.
That's not what she's worried about.
It's not.
Tell her, Kyra.
Dr. Kapoor, these creatures communicate and adapt. And now you've introduced human genetics into that communication. I'm not worried about you killing everyone on this ship. I'm worried about the monsters you spawn after you, and what they'll do to the human race.
I hadn't considered that.
Huge surprise!
Similar to Kyra, she researched the monsters and got further than her. So Kala, in order to learn more about them, to stop the monsters from spreading, shot herself with a dosage of monster aids, explaining her appearance. Since it's unethical and kind of a dick move to do it to someone else, Kala bit the bullet herself, and now everyone on the ship is either afraid of her because she'll turn into a Lovecraftian beast in 2 weeks at the dinner table, or they don't care because they'll instantly cap her the moment she starts speaking another language.
And if I change into something else and threaten everyone on the ship?
Then you will die gloriously. What better fate for warriors like us?
Kala adds onto that terrifying mystery of where the monsters came from.
Please, Dr. Kapoor, please tell me this is not what it looks like.
I thought you, of all people, would understand.
I, of all people, do not. You experimented on yourself. How am I supposed to understand that?
Ms. Diaz, would you describe these things as an existential threat to humanity?
I can't answer that yet.
That's the difference between us. It doesn't matter how you answer that question. There's nothing you can do either way. You simply don't have the knowledge to solve the problem. No offense. But I do.
At what price, Doctor?
That remains to be seen.
Dialogue between other characters, Abe, one of my favorites, and Parnell, reveals something pretty terrifying. Apparently Kala talks in her sleep, but it's not her voice. It's something old and male, speaking in binary and other demonic chants.
That lady's crazy, Jim.
Kala? I don't know. I thought so. Maybe not. Maybe she's braver than all of us.
Yeah, you say that because you don't bunk under her. She talks in her sleep.
You ought to be used to girls talking in their sleep, eh?
Man, I'm not joking. You need to hear this stuff. I don't think it's her talking.
What?
It's like mathematical formulas and shit. Chanting. And sometimes, I shit you not, it's an old man's voice. A different voice.
Nothing good. I'll talk to Cabot.
You better hurry. Whatever's happening to her is getting worse.
Kala's very existence is a ticking time bomb and an absolute enigma that amplifies the monsters, but her personality is self-aware and kind of depressed. But she doesn't blame anyone for fearing her. Her tone of voice is apathetic. Her conversations are either just her getting roasted and agreeing, or showing hints of surprise at newfound knowledge, or small pieces of joy at being accepted by others.
I am not your enemy, James Parnell.
Not right now you aren't. But who knows what you're turning into? You don't, that's obvious.
Maybe. Yes, perhaps. But for now, I am still master of my mind. I may someday turn into something else. But until then?
Until then, you're a member of my team. That means we fight and die together, no matter the cost.
Thank you.
Besides characters, there are certain aspects to the world that involve groups of characters. Hyde, a pyromaniac, simple slurring soldier, fought alongside Lazarus, who was a part of the Lazarus Men, which wore gloves that could revive the dead. Said by Lazarus himself, Hyde was the only soldier who actively didn't wear his helmet during the war, right on the front lines, and the two share a close bond. While Hyde's a simple man, Lazarus is more thoughtful and imaginative. Despite literally undoing death, Lazarus sees the gauntlet as a flawless device to the disagreement of others. Similarly, Lazarus prods with the ingenious idea to drag a dead monster back to their dump of a ship, revive it, and study it.
Laz, you remember what we talked about.
Yes.
We kill this monster, you're not going to try and use that glove thing on it, right?
I will not try to resurrect the monster.
Okay, because you gave me a look there a minute ago like you were going to try it.
But we have yet to study a living monster. Think what it could tell us.
It would tell me you brought back a monster we just busted our ass to kill. And I would tell you I was very upset, and I don't think either of us would like that. Do you?
No. No.
Okay, I trust you. You don't gotta sulk about it.
Along with this, he even proposes a theory that adds to the theory of the monsters not being natural. He points out how they've adapted to previous situations, pushing their skills further and further, even theorizing the potential of one copying his Lazarus device, bringing back fellow monsters from the dead.
Monsters seem to be getting weirder. I wonder if there's any limit to what they can do.
I fear there is not. We only met the Kraken after the Goliaths fought Markov. Lightning for lightning. And when that was not enough, Wraith. And when stealth was not enough, Behemoth.
You think eventually they'll evolve something we can't beat?
I think about a monster that learned from me, that can bring its minions back from the dead.
Right. About halfway through my question, I thought, why am I asking this?
I brought up Abe previously, and he's also a favorite of mine for nearly the opposite reason of everyone else. He doesn't add anything to the monsters or really the lore to a degree. Abe's a bounty hunter, a pretty good one. He's kind of that guy that everyone hates, but everyone likes.
When we hit the ground, everyone follow me and stay close.
Absolutely. How close you want me?
Not that close.
All right then.
He's somewhat of a dick, making snide comments towards people, mostly Kyra.
Big black donuts here.
Are you kidding me?
Sort of? What are these things?
They're tires.
Got it.
You know what a tire is, right?
I can tell by the way you ask that you suspect the answer is no, and you are correct. What are tires?
Holy shit.
Now, my favorite aspect of Abe, though, is his connection to Slim and bounty hunting. Now, who is Slim? Slim, by his appearance, is the perfect mix of nasty and sick, but in a good way.
It is an honor to serve with you, Bugman. I'm sorry, Slim.
Nah, it's cool. You can call me Bugman, I don't mind.
But Abe, when he said it, you pulled on him.
Yeah, because when Abe says it, there's too much bug and not enough man.
Very well, Bugman.
You're damn right.
He's a rebel soldier who signed up to become what's called a basilisk, hope I pronounced that right, soldier, specifically Generation 3. He wanted to fight for what he believed in, for his people, family, friends, and his planet, and in the end, he lost. Nothing more than a victim, now suffering from PTSD and memory failure, can't even remember his real name.
You fought for something, You changed yourself into a monster to save your world. What I'm doing, I do for all humanity. Please, you must understand.
Dr. Kapoor, you don't watch the news much, do you?
Not as a rule. Why?
Because we lost, Dr. Kapoor. We all lost. Everyone I knew. They're all dead.
I see. I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry for both of us.
He's somewhat reserved, but an overall kind and forgiving person. Now, how does that connect to Abe? Well, now it's illegal to be a basilisk soldier, nearly a $10 million bounty for bringing one in. So, when Slim joins up with this acclaimed bounty hunter, you'd think bullets would start flying the moment they see each other. Everyone thinks so. They think that the two are gonna cut throats, throw hands, and bring the WWE smackdown. And they're probably right. So when the two finally talk, Abe and Slim together,
Everyone thinks you and me are gonna go at it. Gonna slaughter each other in cold blood at the drop of a hat.
Well, we might. But in my opinion, they could at least give us the benefit of the doubt.
Is that a movie quote?
Yes, it is. And if you talk shit about my favorite movie, we'll have a whole new problem to solve.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Solving problems isn't our line.
We deal in lead, friend.
We deal in lead, friend.
Welcome to the team, Slim.
Thanks, Abe. Happy to be here.
they actually seem to be friends. Despite the bounty, Abe doesn't want to kill Slim. He never gives a straight reason. He states how the bounty was shot on sight, so by now he's practically disqualified. He also brushes off the bounty count, how much money he gets paid. I love the subversion of how Abe doesn't really care about the bounty, and Slim is just thankful, nothing else.
So, how much am I worth?
You asking about the bounty? I don't keep track of numbers and shit, man.
Bullshit, you don't keep track.
Alright, 10 million keys.
10 million? Is that alive, or...
Bounty says shoot on sight. But I broke that rule a few days ago when you joined up. So I guess I'm, disqualified for failing to follow instructions. Bub's real picky about following instructions.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
It's Abe.
Thanks, Abe.
Now, considering our current society, don't worry. It's not just humans that are diverse in this game. We have a plethora of whole 2 robots, and one such robot is Bucket, a kind of sassy and sarcastic, but overall helpful and intelligent person.
Oh, I see you're on your ass again. Typical. Humans, follow me!
Considering the setting taking place about 500 years from now, technology has advanced to that robots are way more than simple, going by the title of VOC class. Bucket, being more advanced, has a higher level of intelligence, but still struggles with simple relatability. Simple enough, he's a fun comedic relief.
Ah, one of those plants that looks like a giant anus!
The other robot is... Emmett. Oh god, no. Emmett is an emergency, medical, and evacuation drone that has one primary purpose: helping people with a smile on his face.
I'll shove this fucking missile up its ass and blow its fucking balls up!
Emmett isn't very self-aware. He's close to your standard robot, doesn't react to criticism, and simply follows orders without any sort of antagonizing.
I'll rip off your dick and beat you with it!
He takes things at face value, doesn't understand context clues, and can't really fight to save his life.
I'll crawl up the monster's ass and blow myself up!
Because the main thing about Emmett is he only follows his simple programming.
I'm a death machine made of hate and fuck!
Also, he has what's called a demon core plant inside of him that functions the exact opposite of his programming, allows him to actually fight, basically giving him an alternate personality. That's the ultimate culmination of an edgy drunk teenager, your average Call of Duty lobby chat, every potential swear word in every dictionary, and actual Satan. Otherwise, he's a nice fellow.
I will rip your arm off and shove it up your ass!
Whether I did a good job of getting my opinion across or not, well, I'm honestly not sure. Either way, I'm still very passionate about this series' lore. I think it's got a large cast of entertaining characters that bounce off each other really well. They don't all get along, but it's still nice to see them bond together. Some have simple backstories, while others have really intriguing motivations. The design of this game really helps showcase who these people are and the world they inhabit. I love how their dialogue really builds up the mystery and menace around the monsters. And despite how threatening they are, these idiots only care about reading comics and tonight's dinner. The tone can be very fun, yet also serious. It's a nice blend that works really well. Either way, I'm happy I got to learn about this band of absolute fools. Thanks, and I hope you decide to check out Evolve after this. Come join the cult.